Hello and welcome to Life Partners, to the Lifetime Partners show where we create relationships for life. My name is Letitia Pennington and I am your host today. And I'm super honored to actually have Dr. Chris Zaino here all the way from the US speaking with us today. And where are you actually from right now? Where are you right now actually?
I'm in Houston, Texas. Where are you residing right now?
Oh, well, so I'm Christchurch, New Zealand. So all the
New
way from New
Zealand.
Zealand.
Okay, gotcha.
Nice. So I thought you might have been in Texas, wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it's around sort of 5:30 here, so it's a little bit earlier in the mornings, but
hmm
it's all good. No, so just a little bit about you, Chris. I know you're a little bit about your history. We actually met about 3 years ago at an elite seminar over in Denver. So I was real honored to sit with you and actually meet you in the flesh there. So that was a really good experience. But a little bit about your history. I know you have you're massive in the health industry as an expert yourself, with also world titles under your belt. You're also a doctor of chiropractic. I know you've got one of the largest practices that you currently run there in Houston, Texas. I'm pretty sure that's where it is. And yeah, I mean, really, I found out about you or heard about you. It was really your story that resonated with me. I'd had a lot of health issues myself. I'd had a lot of neck injuries, and it was actually on the CBP podcast is when I first heard you talk. So yeah, it really inspired me to take action. And I know you're massive on purpose and mindset, and I really think you've got a lot to offer my viewers here today, and I'm sure the same on your side of the world as well. So yeah, just coming together, just really just tell us a little bit about you and where you're at right now. So yeah, I'd
All
love
right, so that's a loaded question. Like a little bit about me. What areas you like to focus on? Just because I got all these different. I got I lived many lifetimes in my life,
yeah,
and it's all depend. I want whoever's watching this, your viewers, the avatar of the viewers, or what they just whatever is the more theme of your
yeah,
purpose of the podcast, then you let me know what that is, and I'll
yeah.
choose the life of mine that coincides.
Yeah, cool. Well, I mean, I think your story is actually probably the first thing that we need to talk
Yeah,
about how you even got into the health industry.
yeah.
I think that was really going to resonate. About 75% of my viewers are probably male based at the moment.
hmm
So I know a lot of people are struggling in that area. But I do actually want to also go into the business aspect of things as well. I have a lot of chiropractors on the show also, and I know that they're in practices, so I know that there's that aspect that I also want to go into too. So
Yeah,
you know,
awesome. All right, so I was, I was the typical, grew up in New York. Parents worked together. Kind of a bored kid, played video games. Not really athletic. Somewhat husky, if you want to get to that point. And then my dad had a really good build. So around when I was 12 or 13, I got all the way down to 98 pounds by basically starving myself because now, I'm almost a teenager and, there's you know, insecurity issues and stuff. So I kind of got really, really skinny and then I started working out and just my dad got me a gym set. And then when we started working out, I started responding well. And then I would tell me like, when you're young, the thing that you get positive attention to, you're gonna keep on doing. So I'm like, well, I'm getting positive attention. I'm getting seen. I'm not. I was kind of very, very introverted, and I was like, wow, so I'm getting some type of recognition and significance. So I put, and when that happens, it was a real big positive thing in my life. So I just put so much effort, intensity, got the magazines, and started really focusing on the weightlifting, the bodybuilding, stuff like that, and started competing at 18 years old and went really really far there. Won Mr. America in 1998. I was 21. I worked for Universal Studios. I trained Xena Warrior Princess. Like I was on covering magazines. So it was a very very good career. Started and I was a writer, still am. So I might have not been a speaker then, but I was good with getting my thoughts on paper or writing. So I started writing articles. And this before blogging or blogging happened. So I started writing articles for certain magazines. and it was good. It was a great life. And then I got I started getting digestive problems and digestive issues, and they got worse and worse and worse. And now these were things where it was very difficult because here I ate a certain way. I exercised. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. I didn't do recreational drugs and stuff like that. And like I was the one that said I was healthy. I mean, really, like compared to anybody else, like I did all the disciplines needed
Mm.
more than other people to be healthy and consistent. Not that you did like I was consistent. I was routine. And so it's very difficult for me to understand, well, what the hell's happening? So I'm looking online at, blood and stool, all this stuff looks like cancer. No, like just don't know, thinking it'll go away, and it never went away. And this continued to get worse and worse and worse and worse till, you're to the point where your entire life is being changed, not only on a physical level, but an emotional level, a mental level of finding different bathrooms to go in and this and that. And to the point where I get to the point where you couldn't even hold your bowels in public anymore. And when that happened, you would think, well, it doesn't need to take it that far. Well, for me, it did because I'm stubborn. It took me, losing my bowels in public to say, okay, all right, I can no longer deny this and stay in denial or disassociate this. This is something I have to now look in the face. And that's when I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. It's an autoimmune disease. It's terminal. It's incurable. And I went on the whole regime of drugs and medications and the best doctors in the country. They were wonderful. They were the top. And none of those drugs and all the protocols that they still use today did not work. It just covers the symptom, creates all other types of problems. And I was faced with down to about 158 pounds, and the only option was to remove my colon. They said, listen, the only thing we could do is take out your colon. You'll have a colostomy bag the rest of your life, $6,000 worth of medications. You'll be sterile. We don't even know if you'll make it through the surgery because you're on all these these immunosuppressants, your immune system shot because we're drugging it down. So we don't even know how you'll heal and recover after a surgery when they take out your colon. So just think of all that. So at that point, I flew home to see my mom. She was in Florida, and she sent out the per email. And about a week, week and a half away, one of my anatomy teachers from 10th grade who saw that email says, listen, I want you to go see my chiropractor. He's a corrective care chiropractor. He'll find the cause of the problem. It'll change your life. And Letitia, I thought that was the biggest crock of bullshit I ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Right? It sounded like witchcraft. And my only experience with chiropractic was someone who taped my ankle in baseball. That chiropractor never took the time to tell me what he really does. I only thought my assumption was, what's he like a more educated massage therapist? And so I said, well, I appreciate your help and wanting to help, but I've tried everything. And he goes, you didn't try everything because if you tried everything, you would have had your health. And I was like, oh my God. So he challenged me. And that was a correct statement. A lot of times when we feel like we're victims, especially now what's going on in society today, we could blame the circumstances so much we don't realize when we become victims and when we lose hope. Because when you lose hope and you become a victim, that's when you start to say, well, I've tried it all. There's nothing I could do, or these circumstances won't allow me to do it. So I became a victim and hopeless and apathetic without even realizing it until that question kind of woke me up out of that funk, going, that's right. I couldn't have tried everything. Otherwise, I would have had my result. So to see that doctor, he took pictures of my spine. So now I saw a blind spot. The only reason why anybody watching any area of your life that you're scared and you have fear or uncertainty, those areas, the only reason why you have that is because you're unaware. You're unaware. Once you have awareness, those things go away. So I saw a blind spot in my spine. I never had lower back pain, but I had a tremendous subluxation or damage in my lower spine. I had damage and pressure on my brainstem, controlling the autonomic nervous function and the immune system. This is my blind spot. So it didn't matter how good I ate, didn't how good I exercised, or how good I looked. When there's that damage in that nervous system that's preventing life from the brain to go to those organs so those organs to do their job, then what am I going to do? There's nothing that could happen. No matter, there's no drug, pill, or potion. It has to come from the inside out. So I'm like, okay, I saw it. It was a blind spot. I'm aware of something now, but I'm still very skeptical. I'm like, so listen, when am I going to get better? Because that's all I want, right? Right. When you just want to get better. I don't care. How long is it going to take? And he looks at me, he goes, well, as long as you still have that problem and as long as you choose to correct your problem that you have that's affecting your life, then your body will then be able to go back into the environment of function in order for it to heal itself like it always has. He goes, but that's up to you. He's like, it's not up to me. It's between you and your body, but you will get better if you don't quit on yourself, he goes, no matter how long this process takes,
Mm.
because there's a gestational period. It's called the law of gender, that everything takes a gestational period to form, right? We took us 280 days, a carrot 71 days, a bone 6 weeks to heal. So there's a gestational period.
That's
And
it.
so I wish I could tell you a week later was a miracle story. It wasn't a miracle story. Weeks later, months later, off half the meds. 5 months in, off all the meds. Body weight stabilizing, bleeding a little bit here. And then 7 months, all the blood had stopped. And my body healed itself of an incurable terminal disease. So when we look at, I just want everybody to understand, people are like, well, aren't you grateful for that doctor who saved your life? No, no one saves your life but you. When you realize that your ignorance, which means unawareness, doesn't it's not a derogatory term. Our ignorance or unawareness of blind spots is still our issue. All right, that we have to deal with, we have to find, and we have to search, and then we have to correct. So he didn't save my life. I made the choice and my decision to follow and do whatever, chiropractic and the things I need to do. Remember, I had to show up. I had to do that decision. I had to put in the effort. And in my effort and decision, see, making a decision right there, not procrastinating, I was able then to go on a journey that absolutely changed my life, and I would say millions of people on the planet.
That's phenomenal. And you
Yep.
are right. Yeah, as humans, that is our flaw. Uh, and that comment you made about chiropractic and how you thought, what you
Yeah.
thought about it. I think it's the same with anything that we don't understand or we don't know. Is that ignorance and not taking the step to actually just find out, or to actually just open your mind to other possibilities, because you're so set in this mindset and this belief in this way that you are, that nothing else can enter that. And I think that's one of the biggest things I've actually learned too, through my journey and listening to you, and the journey that I've been on, through my chiropractic experiences as well. So yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, there are a lot of people on here, that are chiropractors as well. I know that you have a thriving business there in Texas, as well. And you're obviously still in practice. I actually don't know how long you've been in practice there.
16 years.
16. Yeah, right. Yeah. So I have a lot of contacts in America now, actually, and a few that live down that way. So there's you have other doctors there practicing with you as well. Is that correct?
I'm the head adjuster. No,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I have other doctors, but they're doing other. I have other businesses in my business, so they're
Okay.
doing regenerative medicine, they're doing decompression, they're doing
Yeah.
other
Cool.
things, but they're not adjusting. Or maybe or I'll have some docs that cover. So when I want to go out of town, or if I want to just take a break for a couple days, then I have I could text a few docs to see if they could cover for me.
Yeah, and I think that was what I was going to ask you, is like, especially for young practitioners coming out, or that are already in practice, what really was that turning point for you, or that fork in the road that you knew that you needed to take that your business in a different direction, or was it more just an inclusive that you knew you had to do more, you know?
Oh, no, no. It's intuitive, meaning, when you're just starting out, it's entirely on your shoulders. It's up to you. So there's no, if you're just starting out, there should be no thinking, well, I'm going to get to this point and then hire associates and then get to this point and take days off and get to this point and retire. No, no, no. No, because the fact that that's even in your head, you're never going to be successful. It needs to be like, hey, I just started out. My goal is to drive as hard as possible
Yep.
and really create something and work so hard. I call it hard easy. It's your job to work as hard as possible in the beginning, because then later on it'll get easy. But if you just start to pace yourself, no, no, no. So you got to work your ass off. So then when you work your butt off, then you'll start to see, okay, you start to earn it. Then you're like, okay, great. I need an exam doc because I'm busy. I'm so busy over here seeing patients. It's almost like now, because you can't be at seven areas in one place,
Mm.
then that's where the staff and the hiring starts to come in when there is a need for it. Then for me personally, when you get to something, you hit a certain level of something and you sustain it for a while, then you start losing, I don't want to say you lose heart, but your passion starts shifting a little bit, or your pride starts shifting.
Yeah.
and you start saying, listen, I want to do bigger, better things. I want to expand. I want, just you shift as a person. You still love it, but it's time to evolve, because we're spiritual beings in a physical body, and a spirit's main objective is to evolve, grow, expand into forward and new areas and territories that we have not really experienced in the past. So you're always going to have that dissatisfaction. Being dissatisfied is a very good growth place to be in, because we should never be satisfied with
Mm.
where we're at. I mean, not even be content. I think that's a fallacy and a dogma that's ruins a lot of potential of people. You should always, like on this short planet, you should be grateful, sure, appreciative, but dissatisfied. I'm a very dissatisfied person in the terms where I I just know there's more that I could do. There's more impact, there's more potential, and I owe it to myself to stretch that and see. So that's why I just started expanding on different things and doing that, and have plans to do even more.
Yeah, that led straight into the next question
Yeah.
I had, really, was really just is pushing through that barrier, when you do feel that sense that you've plateaued, but you know that you need more. It's like, what pushes you? What's that purpose that drives you? What is, you've just got to keep that that mindset, or that end goal of why you started in the first place.
Mhm.
um I believe that that's what keeps you going.
Yeah, but and the thing is, all you need is a burning desire. The hotter and the more burning the desire, the more you're going to focus and put effort into it. So you got to really be into it. When it stops becoming fun, you can't force the desire. So it literally has to be and the desire could be totally irrational. It does not have to make sense, but like when someone desires something, they're going to go for it. Just look, even, and that works both ways, like doing good things and bad things. When people desire something,
Mm.
they'll go all out and do it. Right. So when that burning desire starts to fade, and you try to falsely stoke that fire again or push that fire, you got to go where you're excited about it. And for a lot of docs, it becomes something absolutely totally different than their profession. So I have to coach them and say, listen, you got to go after what you have burning desire for, because then it'll be fun. You'll put a lot of effort and work and attention, and it'll actually be more successful than you trying to create a false flame or false desire in an area that you lost it in, or it's time to evolve in. So no, I definitely believe, and the reason why you do things, the only answer necessary that you got to tell anybody is because you want to. Again, the reason why we do things has nothing to do with logic. Logic might help justify it, but at the end of the day, it's an emotional, because I want to. Why do you eat? Why'd you eat pizza and hamburgers, knowing, and smoking cigarettes, because you know it could kill you? Because I wanted to. Why'd you cheat on your spouse? Because I wanted to. And it's about taking personal ownership. I mean, I didn't cheat on my spouse, but I'm saying, like, people do things it's because they wanted to. Why were you successful? Because I wanted to be. Why didn't you take care of better of your health? Because I didn't want to. So it all comes down to wanting and desire, and that really is the only reason that anybody says, because it all becomes personal responsibility
Yeah.
of what you do. So in the practice, I had to be sensitive to, hey, burning desire is not burning as much anymore in this area. Where's a new exciting burning desire area? Because then when you have a burning desire, you get excited, and when you're excited, you're vibrating better. You get better thoughts, imaginations, better ideas. You start acting on. You're actually in a better creative place, and that's where really good stuff happens. And if it's not there, get out.
Actually, and you mentioned, I did not know a few of those things you talked about at the beginning. That you've worked at Universal, and you're actually a writer. So are you writing anything right now, or are you looking at doing?
Oh, no, no, I wrote well, you can't see it. I wrote a New York Times best-selling book up there.
Have
No,
you?
right now, writing is not, no, I believe my zone of genius is video and content. And you'll see that you'll see over the next couple of years on digitally online. Like, I'm best at speaking and video.
Yeah.
And so speaking is kind of few and far between these days, but I could
Yeah.
absolutely crush online stuff and just give content. And because looking back over the years, and this is also good for anybody watching, your experiences are more powerful than your book smarts. Like I could read calculus and be a smart calculus person, but my experiences are way more important and beneficial to real people. So through my years or through my multiple lives, as I like to say, I gain different experiences. So it could be the health experience. I could talk about health. I could talk about fitness because I had a fitness experience. I could talk about mindset because I do mindset work, right? So it's all these experiences that you bring to the table. This is what people find valuable. So you become a valuable person. Remember, everybody here, like the more experiences you have in your life, really you become a lot more valuable to other people in terms of them wanting to hear you speak or talk or get your insights and understanding on that. So that's why, like in my present time of my life, I'm always looking for the unknown experiences. I'm always looking to build the memory and experience because the everyday monotony of life is not going to build new experiences. It's not going to build new opportunities. It's not going to create anything exciting because it's certain. But it's in the unknowns. It's taking that trip when someone tells you to take a trip, or just going on that weekend cruise, whatever that might be, where all these opportunities and knowns appear and show themselves and actually serendipitously take you to different. I mean, I'm looking back, there's so many different avenues and opportunities that were attained when I made time and said, listen, I'm going to go for the experience. I'm going to go towards the unknown of life versus just sticking in my same routine. And a lot of us that are type A's, we love our routine. And the routine gets you to a certain point, but also at the same time, that routine also becomes the very thing that holds you back from your potential because we love our routine. And if we love it, so you got to find a way. How can you have a routine, but also allow yourself to totally go into the unknown where there is no routine, just to experience just new things and contrasts, good and bad, where it helps you make better decisions and allows you to steer your purpose in a certain direction.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Actually, yeah.
I know.
Because we do, like you're saying, I'm type A, so yeah, it's that risk. It's getting past that point. It's, I suppose, as you know, as an athlete, it's pushing past that barrier that you can't do it anymore, and then all of a sudden you get that kick and that drive that takes you to that next level, and you're like, whoa, okay, and I think that's what you're trying to. Is that sort of how you?
Oh, you
Yeah,
nailed it. Yeah,
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 yeah. It's that risk.
yeah,
It's that.
yeah. You
Awesome.
nailed it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you nailed it. You nailed it.
awesome. Oh, cool. Well, yeah. I mean, I've got lots of questions I can
Yeah.
ask. If you're just wanting just a quick sort of 5 minute go through. Um,
Whatever you want to do, I'm game.
let's do it.
I
Let's
said
do
anything.
it. Okay. Well, I've got like.
Anything goes. This is
I'll,
your show.
I'll just roll
I'm
them
just
out. I'll just roll them out.
yeah. I'm just
Um,
added value. Go.
yeah. Yeah. Awesome. So, what?
So real quick, Letitia. So are these quick answers, or how do you want to do this? Is it like a
Yeah.
fire round?
Let's do quick answers.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Do you want to do some? I think
Yeah,
you
yeah.
might.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, well, first one, 1 out of 10. 10 obviously being the most high
Yeah,
pinnacle.
yeah.
How would you rate your happiness right now and fulfillment in life?
Heaviness and fulfillment. Like,
Happiness.
a fucking five.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay, that's honest.
yeah. That's
Your
honest. Yep.
biggest misconception people have about your profession.
Oh, that we're not real doctors,
Yeah,
but we're more yeah, yeah, or yeah. It's amazing. The ignorance is pathetic.
yeah. Well, I mean, I was actually one of those ignorant people up until
I'm just saying right now, but also I blame chiropractors because the whole COVID thing should have never happened because we never took the chance to really educate people on what health was. It's my fault. It's my fault, and I put this whole pandemic. See, it's all about taking personal responsibility and massive ownership. So I take 100% responsibility, and I also put the weight on every chiropractor and health practitioner on their shoulders that this entire pandemic is their fault because this country shut down due to a germ theory, which is absolute bullshit. You do not catch germs. They're opportunistic. It's the host, right? When the host is weak, it's not healthy, it's not functioning correctly, then it's opportunistic. So everybody's running away from this virus or this germ. But the thing is, it's not sitting behind the corner ready to jump out and attack you. It's the host. So if you would have took better care of your health, if people really realized that health was not how you look, it's not how you feel, it's how you're functioning, what controls function, and to become aware of what needs to happen to have a maximally optimized body and nervous system, and understand that, health is not merely the absence of sickness or disease. That if you do have if you get nauseous or have a fever, that's a good thing. That's the innate wisdom of the body doing its job. So now we have a bunch of people running around with a false premise of what health is, wearing masks, spraying things down, making things worse, and generation as we know it was ruined. And the reason why I put it on chiropractors is if you couldn't do it in 120 or 25 years, 125 years, we couldn't get that message out and change a few billion people because we play so damn small. And because of that, I also take a tremendous amount of responsibility. I could have done more talks. I could have invested more of my money in getting that word out. Like if I knew now what I was able to do, if I just got that message out, I would have spent a lot more of my investment money into getting the message out versus in some other investments that yielded me a good return. But if I could have saved the world from a pandemic like this, meaning it's not the virus anybody should be worried about. It's the status of thinking that there's this viruses that's gonna jump on you, and because the germ theory is absolutely 100% a scam. And but hey, we got our work cut out for us. So yes, to answer your question. So
Yeah, that is the biggest misconception.
yeah,
And yeah, I mean, look, I'd never even heard of a chiropractor, and
yeah,
I was
yeah,
35 years old.
yeah.
35, never even heard of. I didn't never even
It's,
heard the name. You
so
know,
it's and
that's just a prime example. So really, the last 5 years have been kind of crazy for me listening, and I'm so like was just it was you, it was Dr. Fred, it was like Patrick, it was like Sid Williams, it's like
yeah,
Reggie Gold, it was like all these people that I was listening to all of a sudden that just completely just
yeah. That's
intoxicated me, and I'm just like, what, this isn't real, like I
mhm.
don't know where this is coming from, and it's taken me a long time to accept, it's taken me a long time to swallow my own pride and my own ego and realize that there are other um, theories out there, and and I can't deny what I know now. So yeah, please don't take it all on yourself. It's very noble of you to do so.
Oh no, no, no. I'm not patronizing myself, but
No.
I'm a person who takes extreme. I that's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
Extreme ownership over everything. I don't believe it takes two. I believe it takes one. And I could tell you in any circumstance that sucks, I could tell you, even if something happened in New Zealand that sucked, I'll find a way, and not being guilty, where I know that I could have played a role, or I did play a role in that happening.
Well,
So like
yeah,
for instance, if a hurricane hits here and we're out of power for 8 days, I could blame the hurricane, or I could say, "Hey, asshole, I didn't get a generator for the house."
that's right. Yeah.
Just you're always looking to say, where can I take responsibility? Because the person who takes responsibility is ultimately the person who rises up and does something about it. Or the opposite, or the latter, is becoming a victim and then making up all these other bullshit excuses. And what starts to happen is it's easier and easier every circumstance to become a victim. So whatever circumstance thrown at me, I'm like, oh, it's my fault. I lost a couple $100,000 with some shit staff, right? Guess what? They took shortcuts. They were lazy. You know what? I could blame them. Blame like I'm the one who hired them. I'm the one who clearly didn't micromanage them. I'm the one who clearly didn't train them correctly. I'm the one who didn't see the red flags ahead of time. I'm the one who didn't listen to my intuition. And the more I take personal responsibility, the less the sting happens. Because then when you could take personal ownership over it, then I could take my own loss.
You can do.
So yeah, so I'm really big into 100% ownership
That's,
in all things.
thank you.
Yeah,
That's it. That's why I'm sitting on this call with you now. I never thought this would be happening. So,
yeah,
but it is.
it is.
And I'm a great believer in that as well. What
Yeah.
will be. And what my purpose is sitting here speaking to you about it right now. That's it.
What else you got?
I've got quite a few.
Let's go. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Looking back then, now that you've just said that,
Mhm.
10 years maybe, would you do anything differently?
Um. Yeah, I would have went harder. I would probably would have went harder and hired more docs and went bigger. I definitely would have did more. I would have hired more docs. I would have had a better online presence, and I would have went bigger. I would have invested more into the office just to see more people.
Yeah.
This is a machine. I just needed a little bit of help, which would have been easy to get.
Yeah, well, we talked about that already just previously.
Yeah, we just don't. All of us are going small. No matter how big you think you're doing it, there's always another level. And when you realize we're all playing pretty small compared to what we're capable of doing, and you tend to hear that when you ask anybody, if you were to go back 10, 20, 30 years, I've not heard one successful person say, I don't hear one successful person say, I wish I would have spent more time with my kids. No offense. I'm very transparent with you guys. Like, I don't hear like, no, 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 no. They're like, I wish I would have took more risk. I wish I would have invested more. I wish I would have gone bigger. I wish I would have, right? Did the big vacation with the family. It's they have regrets of not going big enough because they even though they were tremendously successful, they realize I was playing small.
Still playing small.
Yeah,
Always playing small.
yeah. It's just another level. What else? I like those questions. Good.
You like those?
Excellent.
Well, here you go. Okay, so this is just 3 in a row. It's really
Yes.
just giving us on the scale 1 to 10 again.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. Yep.
how you rate yourself. A, in business, 1 to 10.
Oh, 7,
Okay, as a human being,
10.
and as your greatest flaw is, what is your greatest flaw as a human being?
Was my greatest flaw? I don't know. I don't pay attention to it.
Good answer. Don't need to. Just focus on the
Yeah.
pros.
Because whatever that might be, Letitia, whatever that might be, makes me allows me to be who I am, right? It's like I love I got to embrace and love and appreciate every part of me, meaning the good things, and I got to appreciate the pitfalls, right? Like that's like I gotta love them equally. They were both created for me, so I got to embrace them and love them.
Yep, that's it. And then, yeah, there was just, tell us just quickly a little bit about this new project that you have. You've got a new project I know you're working
Oh,
on.
I got lots of projects.
Yeah,
So,
I bet you
we have a medical tourism clinic in Cancun, Mexico now that deals in stem cells. We're able to do things that the United States, it's not that they don't permit it because they work. They're tremendously work. So we're able to do procedures for no hope patients. We're talking Alzheimer's, dementia, stroke, post-stroke, paralysis, spinal cord disorders, everything. The only thing we don't talk about, but we could refer you out, is cancer and autism, because they take a little bit more in-depth work as far as, but when it comes to stem cells and other amazing beneficial treatments that the states will clearly not do because they just work. That's the reason why.
right.
And amazing, amazing, amazing. Like 34 people last year had some type of form of paralysis in the spine, and they regained function in some way, shape, or form. So it is absolutely changing lives. So I'm very proud about that. And it's not cheap. And you know what? Health is expensive. You know why? Because it's priceless, right? So yeah, it does really well. Then we also have the second half of that is more of a concierge thing where anybody could go on a 4 or 5 day retreat over there. Totally, we take care of you. You're treated first class, from the cars to the restaurants to everything, and you get all your medical work done, the blood work, the stem cells, any type of procedures that needs to be done in a beautiful setting. So it's more like a Superman. Like, how do you maintain youth and vitality and superhuman status for for your life? That's good. So that's over there in Mexico. We have a male vitality company called Stallion, and that's for males between 40 and 60 who I just always say you want to look like Sylvester Stallone when you're 75. But that, not only look that way, but you want to be creative. You want to be sexually a stallion. You want to be focused, because when a male's hormones start to decrease, he starts to lose drive and effort and desire, and you start breaking down. So how can we optimize that male or upgrade the gentleman to really physically, so they could now be extremely effective and creative and expansive in business and family and relationships. So that's a really, really good fun project there.
I
And
love
there's all these other really cool things going on. We have a stem cell, a brand new new category of skincare with using stem cell technology, where a lot of times people use PRP for facial procedures, where they take your blood out, spin the platelets, put it back, like inject your face with it, whether it be hair or face or facials. And they're very painful, they're very expensive, and they got to take your blood. It can be a pain in the ass. So using stem cell technology, which has more important growth factors and regenerative therapies, because they're day zero cells, we're able to utilize that versus your older blood. No offense, but it's not a day zero cell with the amount of potential that those stem cells have. And it can be done at home, and the results are absolutely incredible, no matter what your age either. So that's a real, so we have that things, and these are all things that, thank God to the COVID scam and scandal, that it made me thinking, hey, listen, I'm in a brick and mortar and I touch people all day long. And, that was threatened, right? So what can I produce? What kind of value can I join and team up with that'll bring value to people right in their homes, or to supersede something that I was doing to just bring more value? And so that's why these opportunities and many others, but I'll just stick to those three.
Awesome. Sounds absolutely amazing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's really exciting. The stem cell world. I've listened to quite a few.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Amazing.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
Very, very lucky.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
those were my quick questions. There was only
That
5.
was good. I like those. It
You
was
like
good.
that? It's
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I mean, that's it. I mean, this has been just phenomenal having you on here.
Good. Yeah.
For a start, I would love to do more with you. So,
Yeah.
you
Let's
know,
do it.
let's do
Let's do a
it.
part two. Let's do a
Yeah,
part
let's do
two.
it. And yeah, I'd really like to do that. So let's do it. So that's it from us today, everybody. Any last words, Dr. Zaino?
No, thank you guys so much for having me on here. And if anybody got any value out of this, please let Letitia know. She works really hard to prepare this, and I know there's a lot of work behind the scenes of that. So I just want to appreciate you and acknowledge you. I want to acknowledge everybody who's listening, because you took the time to invest in yourself, to learn something, or maybe shift your life even a percentage in one day, shape, or form. And I honor that, and I vote for your victory. And if anybody wants to get in contact with me or message me or anything like that, real simple, just do it on my Instagram.
Yeah,
It's at Dr Zaino, Drzaino. So it's Drzaino. I answer all my messages. I answer all the posts. That's always me, and that's really going to be the bat phone to me personally. And you can get any question you got, I'll be able to help you with, and if not, I'll find someone that can. So just
perfect.
please take advantage of that. Yep.
Perfect. And yeah, and I'll also put that down here in the
Yeah.
link for everybody
Yeah.
also. So that's great. All right, signing off, and I will see you soon.
All right, let's do it again. Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.